just so we know, this is going to get a YouTube mirror after the stream is over. Probably will come in tomorrow morning. It depends how long it takes for it to upload to YouTube overnight. I don't expect it to be too long, but then again, I'm not exactly a YouTuber slash streamer full time. I have not done this very often, so there will definitely be a lot of kinks to work out, but hopefully this setup has not been too bad. I should check Discord just to make sure no one's sending me any messages there. Nope. Okay, doing all good. Wonderful. Alrighty. Oh, yeah, to be clear, sorry, Stasis, just to be clear, I am going to go over every deck. I meant, what do they do specifically before the decks show up here? Because I'm just staring at a blank wall right now, talking and mumbling to myself like a madman. Alright, Magma Dragon's prediction is a polarizing split between aggro and control, with control probably outweighing. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. So let's talk about what the meta is going in. So obviously last GP, we had a very heavy control presence, right? We had a lot of Shengfa focused builds, a lot of board wipes in the main, a lot of counter spells, and they did pretty well, right? Because we did have 4 Shengfa decks in Top Cut. Now Shengfa deck has been changed. He's no longer the 6-drop that he was. Maybe I should pull him up really quick, actually. Let's do that. So current Shengfa, I have not seen very much participation. He is... I think he still has potential, for sure, but it's just a more difficult card to build around, right? Because before, I've often said he's got, like, he is the perfect control planeswalker, right? He does everything you want. He makes your opponent, he wipes the board, he makes blockers, he returns all your powerful permanents, like, you know, your Omen of Slaughters or whatever, and he was just, like, basically exactly what you wanted. Now, he can still play around in that space, absolutely can, but not to the same degree as before. He needs a different deck, I think, and I don't know if anyone's cracked that because I've not seen him being played in League at all. So if we do see control, I am predicting it's probably going to be Sultai based and not white. Yeah, I can hasten to it now. I am so happy that I can finally play Gens and King of the Wilderness and not have to worry about Shangfa coming down and ruining my day. Yeah, the combat skip was really big. That is very true. So if we do see control, I don't think white splash is where it is anymore. I think we have been seeing Sultai control, and I have a feeling it's going to continue to stay that way. I just don't think Azorius or Esper have the tools to combat Sultai. Like, Skotha is just such an incredible card in control mirrors. It's just, like, hard to beat. And obviously, both of the Chronicles are also very brutal in control mirrors as well. So yeah, I do think control will probably be represented well. I don't think mid-range is probably going to make too much of an appearance. It does just kind of eat it to Sultai. I think I do agree. Stasis, I think you're right on the ball. I think it's going to be a lot of aggro, a lot of control, and then some, I don't want to call them combo decks, because that's what they are, but kind of tempo decks, I guess, where they're built to just kind of stop control from doing what they want to do. Because I do think the Sultai deck is very interactable on its curve, you know? Any sort of, like, counterspell with a creature threat, I think, is a good way to beat it. That or just, you know, go full all-in, bolts / 6/6s to the face. Like, it definitely has avenues to beat it, which is good. I do think, hopefully, me and Stasis are hoping this, Bant Builder does show up. I do think it is pretty well positioned right now. I don't think it's just... I do think it has an unfavored matchup against Sultai Control, but I don't think it's so unfavored that I wouldn't bring it even in a Sultai Control favored meta, right? I think Bant Builder has an excellent matchup into the aggro decks, and it has a slightly unfavored matchup into Sultai Control, and I think that's really a winning combo for a deck. So, I mean, we got a minute left, but if someone thinks they want to bring it, I do highly recommend it. Stasis says, my hot take is that usual. Red players often build to beat the perceived meta rather than just play the meta, so I think Bant Builder would be generally well possession. Yep, I 100% agree. Yep. You caught me just before my spiel. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. I think Bant Builder could very easily win this if someone brings it. You know, I think It's probably one of its only weaknesses is that it's probably weak against like, well, weak against Sultai control. I did establish that, and then I think it's probably also not great against some combo decks that we've seen before, like breaching Jaxel combo decks. I feel like Bant Builder just did not have a lot of game against those, but it would be interesting to see that matchup, honestly. Okay, it is 7 p.m., so any minute now we are going to be seeing the deck lists come in. Let's see if they automatically updated for 7 o'clock. Nope, not quite yet. So we are still waiting. Yeah, okay, so how they play Stick Attack on this rule deck is tough, yeah. I imagine that is probably difficult. So, I mean, the deck does have other ways to play to the board, but they do have to stick Jaxel for one turn. I mean, Jaxel is at least insulated against planned obsolescence, so that's something, but, you know, other removal options are not great for the deck. Alright, we are horning in on the decks being in. I am excited to see how many players we have and what the spread of decks we'll see is. Final prediction, I'm thinking we're going to get 4 Sultai Control, 3 Mono Green, at least 2 Azoria / Esper Control, and some sort of burn list. That is my final prediction, and we will see how correct I am. I am hoping that people catch on to the Mono Green train after 2 metas of jamming in a row, because I think that deck is cracked, and the fact that it got buffed cards makes it even better. So I am excited to play this thing. 27 players. Oh my god, that's so good. Oh my god. Okay, we are in. Let's get cracking. Okay, so actually, first things first, let's go ahead and just look over the matchups real quick. So I already can see that PTM got the bye. Very good for them. Okay. Good. So me and Peacock have a little game going where for the last 2 GPs, we matched against each other for our first rounds. So I am a little sad that for the sake of the bit that we are not matching up again. But going against Kilgaris, I have a feeling Kilgaris is on my deck. Yeah. Okay, cool. I figured. So Peacock, you will at least play against me in spirit. So there we go. All right. Let's go ahead and get into our Grand Prix lists. All right, starting off with Truk on Flashback Gaming. Oh, hey, welcome in, Chipmunk. This is Grixis Graveyard Flashback. All right, cool to see. This is the deck that Stasis mentioned a couple minutes ago. So let's go ahead and see what we're running. We have Ignited Soul, Argus Miners, Blistering Cryo Phoenix, and Opalite Phoenix for the Creature Suite. Yeah, I have not seen Opalite Phoenix in a while. It actually wasn't... For how long I've been playing, I've never seen Opalite Phoenix played, but I have seen it in videos I went and watched back in the day. So that is cool to see it make a return. We've got All That Remains and Thirst for Answers for the Flashback Instant Suite. Very reasonable picks. We have Industrialize, Set Ablaze, Chronicle Extinction, and Wade Through Spores. More very reasonable picks. This is... Oh, and we have Aqua Crew Flagship. That is spicy. All right. How am I feeling about this list? Honestly, I just love this. I got a lot of discard in the main to help fight against control decks. We have early removal. We got Set Ablaze. That's decent. We got really good digging potential. Like, this deck can freaking cycle through your hands so fast. Yeah, I do love seeing the flagship. This was probably my favorite card from GQ Chaos Reigns on my first go through of the set until Gecko got buffed. So I am happy to see this. This is one of my favorite cards. I love looters so much, man. Yeah, okay. This is pretty cool. Anything crazy in the mana base? Ephemeral Mire, pretty cool to see, but nothing too crazy. Yeah, I think this is a pretty solid list. All right, let's look at the sideboard. The 4th copy of Opalite Phoenix, 3 Liquidates, 4 Noxious Conditions. Wow, full 4 copies. That is crazy. In a good way, obviously. I think this is a great meta call. If we see some aggro here, it's just gonna obliterate. 1 copy of Terminal Impact for the control. Very nice. 2 more Chronicles. Love to see it. And 4 Soul Guide Lanterns. This deck hates graveyards. Or your opponent's graveyards. I love to see that. Okay. Very cool list. Yeah. I was a little worried looking at the main deck that this was not going to have much what's the word I'm looking for? Much play against mono green, but seeing the liquidates here makes me a little more confident. So I'm happy to see it. And the terminal impact's great too. All right, excellent list. Is this, Stacy? You have to let me know. Is this your list that you had in Decklist, or is this an edited version? I'll go ahead and wait for your answer for a little bit. Love seeing the double phoenixes here. Yeah, very solid list. Different version. Okay, cool. All right, nice. I'm happy to see that people are iterating on it though. And oh, next we have yet another Phoenix list. All right, it seems that the Phoenix is catching on. Is this the exact same list? No, this has a couple differences. All right, so we have 4 Ignited Soul. This list is running 1 less Arduous Miner and 1 more Opal Phoenix in the main. I believe, yeah, so that's the only change. The mana base is exactly the same. So it is possible that maybe these 2 users conspired a little bit on this one. That's pretty cool. Oh, Scotha would be great in a deck like this that can churn so fast. Honestly, yeah, I mean, I could see it. You would have to splash green, though. That's a 4-color mana base. I know people do like their 4-color mana bases, especially when they're running Dragon Age, but I'm a little hesitant of them in a deck that wants to stick creatures this early, but I could absolutely see it. Sideboard seems to be exactly the same here, too. Okay, yeah. Let me think about what I prefer. I think in this meta, I would rather have the 4 Opal Phoenixes over the 3 Arduous Miners. I think Phoenix is a great threat that's like hard to deal with, and just having recursive threats in a meta that I think is going to be control favored seems pretty good. So yeah, I'm on Opal Phoenix being here. I do think it's a little interesting. We are running some pretty expensive flashback cards, though we do have some cheap ones too. So I think Opal Phoenix will be turned on a decent amount of time. Yeah, that was my concern. Miners is, I think, a great card and against a lot of decks except Sultai Graveyard. I think Sultai Graveyard is going to really appreciate being Arduous Minered. Though, to be fair, it is a May, so you don't have to do the discard effect. So it's not the worst. And then you just side it out for games 2 and 3. So yeah, I think this list is pretty well positioned, but we'll have to see how many Sultai Graveyard players there are before I can really pass judgment on Phoenix. But I do think it has potential. All right, moving on. We have Magma Dragon's iconic Swablu list. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and take a peek. We are running Whitecliff Pilgrim, no surprise there, Stratus Fledgling, Gloomy Meteorologist, and Host. Wow, Host of the Never-Ending Revel. That is wild. I love to see that. Okay, I have not seen this card see any play, and I've definitely felt like it should see a bit of play. I think this card's very interesting in comparing to the Inner Ring Pupil. I really like this, honestly. Okay, so yeah, creature list. You got a bunch of EDB creatures, no surprise there. For our instant suite, we have Walk the Dead's Path, Tyranny of Tracks, and Seafloor Treasures. Pretty reasonable selection here. Tyranny of Tracks probably a good concession for our aggro lists that are here. Omen of Slaughter and Omen of Deception. Okay, this is a very fun list. So we do have a bit of a little tempo-ish list here. Alright. Land base, we got Tyrrell District, Redeveloped Cityscape, Nascent Lightvein, Plains Island Swamp. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm on board. This is solid. You just stick a creature, and then you just you just cast removal spells into whatever your opponent wants to do. So let's go ahead and look at the sideboard and what weathers are running. We have 2 Turn to Nyx. Sure, reasonable. This is, honestly, I didn't even think about this. This is great into the Sultai Graveyard deck. Just punish them for even daring to put stuff into their graveyard. We have 1 Falling Ashes. Spoilers. This is matched against Platy's Bant Builder. 4 of Tyranny of Tracks. Rip. That is interesting. Okay. Tyranny of Tracks is pretty great against Builder. So, yeah, solid call. So we have Falling Ashes for the weather. 4 Earthly Penchants for the control lists, I imagine. 2 Sea Breeze, excellent card. 3 Sifting Through Suit, their aggro. 1 Rain Dance. Oh, okay, love Rain Dance with this. This is a great Rain Dance list. And 2 Primordial Seas for the combo finish if you need it. Okay, wow. Yeah, this is a pretty freaking spicy list. I am super high on this. I think this could go the distance for sure. 4 Tyranny Tracks is such a bold choice, but I do think it's going to pay off. All right. This gets an A+ from me. All right. Let us move on to Cat and Trees EO Harmony. Ooh, okay. Running EO. That's awesome. All right. So, we do have EO here. Very cool. We have Penrath Agenda. Makes sense. Yep. We have Edgeland Pledge, The Ruins Awaken, and Abominable Avalanche. Holy shit. Harmony with Nature, Magma Flow, Sparks of Revolution, Flags on High. What the you are cooking. Holy shit. All right, for land base, we got Cityscape, Pristine Grounds. Oh my god. Primal Fisher, Plains, Mountains, Forest. Holy moly. What a list. Okay, this is a deck building connoisseur right here. Penrath Agenda. I have not seen this before, but this is spicy. And with EO too. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea how this is gonna play. Literally zero idea. But I am so excited to see it because wow, this is a crazy list. Yeah, I do think Pristine Grounds over Nascent Light Vein is interesting. I personally probably would have run the Nascent Light Vein, but wow, yeah. I'm on board with experimenting for sure. Harmony with Nature, yeah. No, yeah, we got the enchantment density for Harmony of Nature for sure. No toughness buff is harsh with EO. Yeah. You're not wrong. But I think this could be cool. I do think this deck is probably pretty reliant on actually having EO out though. So if you do not draw EO, that's going to be tough. Let's go ahead and look at the sideboard. We got 4 Return to Nature, classic. 3 Scatter the Signal. Wow, doubling up on the Artifact Enchantment hate here. 4 Zakros Decree, Lifelink, love to see it. And 4 Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, interesting. I mean, Return to Nature and Scatter the Signal can hit Skoth in the graveyard, so it's not an unreasonable pick to just run as many as you can. So I'm not against it, though. I don't know if you need 7 copies in the sideboard, but that'll definitely be something we'll have to see in the actual games. All right, we have Dr. Chillbrains, Yeji Net Deck. Got a little name copy there. All right, we are running a very classic Yeji list here. Ignited Soul, Genotype Splicer, Scattering Swine, Urban Explorer, Data Weaver, Yeji, and 2 copies of the Magma Council. Yep, pretty reasonable Yeji board. We got some Sonido, some Liquidates, Magma Flow, Phynax's Touch, Omen of Slaughter. Yeah, no, nothing unreasonable here. This is about what I would expect from your average Yeji list. I'm curious, how do you guys feel about Yeji into Sultai decks? We haven't actually seen any Sultai lists yet, though I think there's probably some coming up, but how would you feel about Mardu Yeji into Sultai? We do have some data wipes in the board to help deal with them. So I do think there is... Oh, it's your deck that I built specifically the promo top of the charts in Cyhawk. Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you... I think I did see that you actually did get the promo, so there you go. Okay. Nice. Well, maybe, Chipmunk, you can expound on this a little bit, how you feel about the Sultai Graveyard matchup for this deck. Because I'm looking at this. This does dodge, well, mostly dodges Chronicle. Deck's not great in general or into Sultai. Oh, shame. Okay. I mean, hey, if you're jamming Yeji, I'm on board. So I think hopefully we're surprised a bit by how powerful it is. Because I think this is... Yeji and decks in general are just super sweet. We already talked about the sideboard. Oh, Pest Problem. All right, pretty cool. Like seeing the new card. Very fun. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Crush Castles. PTM gave me a deck last month, and now I've screwed it up properly. What a wonderful name. All right, so we have Savvy Smith, Pensive Caldera. I've never seen this card before. When it enters, you may discard a card. If you do draw a card, add red, spend mana, only cast artifact, instant storage spells. Oh, cool. All right, nice. So I'm suspecting this might be like some sort of flashback list. We're running Keranos, Blistering Crow Phoenix. Yep, this is the flashback list. We have Light Vein Arrow, High Voltage, Firebolt, Industrialize, Igneous Visions, Face of the Phoenix, and Light Speed Launcher. Oh, it's a Light Speed Launcher deck. Okay, I should have seen that coming. Alrighty, yeah, this is spicy. I Honestly, this deck can probably turn on Keranos too. That's kind of impressive. You usually don't see Keranos decks that can actually make Keranos a creature. Alright. Life Vein Arrow and High Voltage for the burn. You got some Firebolts too as a bonus. Yeah, honestly, I'm on board. This is... excuse my language, this is fucking spicy. We got 20 lands. Temple of Origins, Primal Fissure, Nimbus of Thought, Island, and Mountain. Yeah, 20 lands is reasonable. Maybe a little bit tough to flashback your 5-mana flashback spells consistently, but well, you do have a lot of digging, so you can find lands if you need them. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the sideboard. For the sideboard, we have Molten Erosion. Very reasonable pick. Yep, Keranos' Judgment. Okay, we have... I need to read this card because I don't know it off the top of my head. 1 blue and red for instant. Choose one. If your devotion to blue is 3 or greater, choose another. Same is true for devotion to red. Return target sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand to destroy target artifact. Very reasonable sideboard card for sure. We have Wormshot. Yep, love seeing Wormshot. Not a bad card. Terminal Impact, 2 copies. Very reasonable. Pull the Wires. Oh, that is interesting. Okay, so we're clearly Crush Castle's expecting some artifact presence here in the GP. Interesting. Okay. And then we have Soulblight Lantern. Yep, very reasonable pick. Hey, Lid, welcome to the stream. How you doing? We're just going over Crush Castle's deck right now. Love seeing some Lightspeed Launcher. I wonder if PTM's also going to be on Lightspeed Launcher. We'll have to check that out. All right. Moving on from this wonderful deck, we have, yes, classic, Esper Control. All right. I think this seems to be a pretty similar list to last GP that they were running. So we have Tireless Aspirants, Sonido Voidsinger, Seafloor Treasures, Ifara's Judgment, Chronoflu Extinction, Bring the House Down, Omen of Deception, Omen of Slaughter, Gone Picking, and the Kanea Stone. We no longer have Shengfa on the list. Okay, so we are off Shengfa in Control. Yeah, I mean, no surprise there. This is what we were expecting. Let's see if there's anything... No, this seems like a pretty reasonable Esper Control list. Anything in the land base that's too crazy? We got 2 man lands here. Interesting. Yeah, I think this could be pretty well positioned. I am interested to see if this is going to be matching up with any Sultai Graveyard. We have not seen any Sultai Graveyard or mono green decks yet. It has been a lot of Phoenix. Is this the Phoenix GP coming back? Sonido took his role. Yep, Sonido did take Shengfa. Took his house, took his kids. Poor guy. Alright, moving on to the sideboard, we have Looming Psyhawk, Forget Their Names, Dissect Intel, Carnival Extinction, and Bring the House Down. Yep, this is a pretty reasonable thing. Forget Their Names is interesting. I wonder if this is a holdover from when Bats was like still a thing, or if this is specifically meant to target something. I guess this is pretty decent against Sultai Graveyard, right? You can target their Skothas, get rid of those. You can target other stuff, I'm sure. Sorry, I can't remember any of the Sultai Graveyard threats off the top of my head. They run the Aqua Crew, right? You can get rid of that. Yeah, this is a pretty neat list. Nothing too crazy. Always like seeing Tireless Aspirants. Alright. We got, oh, that is quite the deck name coming up. We have Dr. Chipmunk's Yar Har Fiddle-dee-dee with just so many 1-0s. Holy crap. Oh, no, they're promos. Okay, let's get in there. We have Spiky, 3 Aqua Crew, 3 Oh, okay, so we're running Sultai. Okay, finally found one. We have 3 Refract, 2 Maim, 1 Seafloor Treasures, 4 All That Remains, 2 Urbora's Appetite. You're going to have to let me know if that's, like, in the stock list, or if this is a Dr. Chipmunk specialization here. So we got 3 Urbora's Appetite, 1 running the Wishy Washy, which I adore this art. It's so fucking cool. We got 2 Harvest Time, 3 Chrono Extinction, 3 Omen of Slaughters, 3 Root Fossils, 2 Archaic Obelisks, and 2 Cryptolabes. And, oh, Looming Sky. We are running Pledges in the mana base. I did see the discussion on this, I want to say yesterday, how more people should be running the Pledges. Folks, they don't even tap to make a pledge. They're so good. If I was not running mono green, I would 100% be running at least a couple Pledge lands because they are so spicy. Yeah, this looks like a more reactive version than the ramp one. Yeah, 100%. This has definitely a huge instant presence. I think this is a great list if we see some more control lists, which we haven't seen too many yet, but I think we're definitely going to get some more later. I know a couple diehard control players who we have not gotten to yet. Yeah, this is definitely looking tuned. I like this. All right, moving on to the sideboard. We have Hungry Blob. Hungry Blob and a Shiny Hungry Blob. 1 Data Wipe, 3 Invasion's End. Oh, no. People are teching for Invasion's End. That makes the mono green player in me so sad. But yeah, I like seeing it. We have 2 Chronicle of Awakening, 1 Pull of Tizers, 1 Omen of Slaughter, 2 Sifting Through Soot, and 2 Soul Guide Lanterns. Yep. I think that's a pretty reasonable sideboard for the meta. I think this is probably going to be positioned really well. I would not be surprised if this was a top cut list, because this is basically everything that I think is going to be in the meta. This is pretty well tuned into. Yeah, this is good. I salute you. All right. That's such a good deck name. All right, we have Philippe's You Should Have Nerfed Scotha. We have 4 Mana Harvesters, 3 Elrenton Visionaries, 4 Scothas, 1 Vorpal Titan, 1 Vasilia, 1 Zard, 2 All That Remains, 2 Harvest Time, 4 Chronicle, 4 Root, Archaic Obelisk, Cryptolite. This is the stock Sultai Graveyard list. I am remembering now. I would recognize it anywhere. Alrighty, yeah. This is the deck to beat, folks. In my opinion, this is probably the best deck looking in. Let's look at the sideboard. We have 1 Club Promoter, 1 Hungry Blob, 1 Vorpal Titan, 1 Jack, 2 out with the old. Okay, cool. 4 Dissect Intel, 3 Final Fate, and 2 Soul Guide Lanterns. This is a sideboard that wants to fight mono green, because you have your 3 Final Fates, your 2 out with the olds, and I suppose that's I guess Jack can come in too. So yeah, I think this seems to be realizing that mono green and Builder are kind of their you should have nerfed Scotha Thanos except instead of a normal hammer, it's the nerf hammer. Nice. Yeah, so this is the list this is the sideboard that I would bring if I wanted to say don't kill me aggro. So I'm liking that. Yeah. I'm on board. This is a nice list. All right, let's move on. Volt Switches Live to Die Again. Oh, we are getting some Rib Collector. All right, so we have 4 Rooftop Slink. Let me scroll over there so you guys can grab it really quick. We got 2 Ignited Soul, 3 Rib Collector, 4 Tormenting Light Rider, 4 Expendable Arsonist, 3 Inner Rings Pupil, 4 Light Vein Arrow, 3 Out with the Old, 4 Extraction Mission, 4 Terminal Impact, 3 Serve Again. Serve Again list in the day of our Lord. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, this is a pretty stock list. Like seeing the Rib Collector here. It's pretty excellent in this list, not gonna lie. Nothing too crazy here, I think. But yeah, I love it, honestly. This is I haven't said it before, but Inner Rings Pupil is such a cool card. It's such a perfect design. Discard into sack into lose life. There's something about custom Magic players where Torment just activates like the neuron in their brain, and this is just like the Mega Torment, so it's the Mega Neuron. This is nothing too crazy though. I do like seeing the Out with the Old. This is clearly a concession to Mono Green and Menelea, so yeah, I'm enjoying seeing this, even though I'm not going to enjoy playing against it. All right, moving on to the sideboard, we have 2 Ignited Soul, another Inner Rings Pupil, 2 End of Mutations. Wow, okay. 3 Super Group Revival. Ooh, that is a spicy include. We got one more Out with the Old, 3 Data Wipe, and 3 Crumbling Tower. Yeah, that is... I like seeing Super Group Revival. I'm going to have to see how that plays. Because, wow. What are we specifically bringing Ignited Soul in against? That is a great question. I mean... I'm not sure. I suppose... honestly, I'm not sure. It's... I mean, I guess you would just bring it against a control deck, right? So you can start pressuring on turn 1 more often, but I'm not sure what you would really take out. I guess the Out with the Olds, but yeah, I don't know. You have better things you can bring in. Yeah, we'll have to think about that one. Well, anyway, moving on. We have Coveted Peacocks, Lightspeed Tempo. We are playing some cool cards. We have Scuttling Cicada, Savvy Smith, Howbase Familiar. Love to see that this is getting some play. Oops, that is getting some play, because if you know, this was just buffed recently. We have 4 Light Vein Arrow, 4 Refract, 4 Industrialize, 4 Igneous Visions, 4 Firebolt, 3 Lightspeed Launcher, 3 Aqua Crew Flagship. This is the resurgent of the spells GP. Oh my god, we have all the flashback spells. Wow, okay. I am loving this. Oh, wow. Okay. I am curious. Interesting. So we are running a lot of flashback spells. We are electing not to run the Phoenix, which I think in this list, honestly, that's probably justified. You wouldn't have to run the Phoenix here. But yeah, that is an interesting note. This entire deck CMC, except for Aqua Crew Flagship, is less than 3. So this is a very aggressive deck. Why not run Recurring Visions? That is a good question. Here, let me pull up Recurring Visions for those who are not aware. Whenever Recurring Visions enters or you cast a spell which had its flashback cost paid, Surveil 3. I think it could definitely put in some work here. And I know Peacock was looking at it and was very excited for it, so they must have fallen off of it for reasons. We'll have to find out what that reason is later. It is, I suppose, a somewhat slow card, but I don't know. I think it could have potential. We'll have to see. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the sideboard. We have 2 Satyr Arsonist, 4 Turnanix, 3 Terminal Impact, 3 Flame Whip, and 3 Soul Guide Lanterns. I love seeing Flame Whip. I've said that Flame Whip is going to be the secret key. Its buff is actually going to matter, I think, because a lot of people just wrote it off, but I think it's actually going to be a very good buff for the card. And then 2 Satyr Ardenist. I wonder what that is targeting. Curious. Other sideboard cards are pretty reasonable. Yeah, I'm on board. This is a pretty neat list. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Jund Ramp. Oh, PTM is off Gruul and onto Jund. You guys will have to let me know if they were on Jund before, because I thought they were only on Gruul. So, we have 4 Speculative Stockbroker, 4 Sunsoaker, 3 Astrathian Genifiers, 3 Gen Slopeskidder, 3 Scotha, 2 Wardens, 2 Terminal. They were on Gruul. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. 4 Abominable Avalanche, 3 Chronicle of Extinction, 2 Crumbling Tower, and 4 Cryptolabe. Cryptolabe as the mono green pick. Okay. Yeah, this is the Scotha deck. Yep, this is the splash for Scotha and Chronicle, which, I mean, honestly, those are the reasons to be playing black right now, in my opinion, so that's not unreasonable. Anything crazy in the mana base? Looming Skyscrapers. See? Pledges. Making a comeback. Love to see it. 2 Nessian Woods, another Neglected Slums, and 2 Temples. Okay. This is a deck that wants to go even bigger than the Sultai version, I think. And I think it definitely has the potential to do it. Wow, yeah. I'm on board. This is cool. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the sideboard. We have 2 Jack Monster Mentor, 3 Liquidate, 1 Chronicle Extinction, 2 Stasis. I'm going to kill you. I can never pronounce this card. I'm going to kill you. I swear to God. All right. We got 3 Sifting Through Suit, 1 Crumbling Tower, and 3 A God Divided. All right. I love it. Okay. What? Oh, man. Sacking Scotha and to deal 6. I didn't even think about that. That is disgusting. Or Warden. Or Gentrifiers. Jesus Christ. Oh, that is gross. Okay. Yeah, Cryptolay Believer. I mean, I think it was Lih who put it best, we should all be playing a double Rampant Growth that also draws a card for 4 mana. That is very true. Yeah, this is I think it's a good list. I am a little curious what this deck does against like an aggro deck, because you do have the Terminal Impacts and the Abominable Avalanches, and you do got the board too. Honestly, yeah, actually, I think this would be decent into something like Mono Green or Red-White Devotion aggro. I don't know if Red-White Devotion aggro is the thing anymore. But yeah, anyway, this is a very cool list. I'm looking forward to see how they do. All right, moving on. We have Dasvi's Brewing Failed. We'll get them next time. Okay, I see. We are lifting a list here from PTM. This is, I believe, the old version of their list. This is the Gruul version. Yeah, okay, yeah. One after the other. All right, so we have 4 Speculative Stockbroker, 4 Sunsoaker, 4 Astrathian Genifiers, 3 Gen Slopeskidder, 3 Ardor, 3 Hoenn a Champion, 1 End Mutation, 3 Crux, 3 Light Vein Arrow, 2 Terminal Impact, 4 Abominable Avalanche. Yeah, super reasonable list. I think this, weirdly enough, I think this list is actually better into the aggro lists than the other ones. I think just Crux is so good against stuff, Stompy and all the other mid-range decks. And Light Vein Arrow is decent too. Yeah, but I think this deck is probably going to be worse. Wait. Oh, there's no Warden of Tremors in this list. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I just assumed there's Warden of Tremors. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Interesting. So, yeah, I think this was probably going to be Worse into the Sultai Graveyard deck, but better into mid-range. So we'll have to see how that goes. Looking at the sideboard, we have 3 Hungry Blob, 2 End of Mutations, 2 Molten Erosion, 1 Worm Shot, 1 Terminal Impact, 3 Crumbling Tower, 3 Soul Guide Lanterns. Oh, see you in a bit, Viola. Yeah, super reasonable super reasonable sideboard. We got 2 more End of Mutations. Gonna be interesting to see the matchups those come in on. Worm Shot, Terminal Impact. Yeah, this is a super reasonable sideboard. Let's go ahead and move on to Silver's list, which, if it is what I think it is, this might be one of my favorite decks of the GP. Yep, it's their mill list. This was, I believe, the first 5-0. Crux will be eating up all the Lightspeed launches. Oh, you are so right. Crux is going to love those. Oh, man. Yep. All right, so, sorry. We have Silver's Demir's Hideous Laughter. So we have 2 Aphonai Reveler, 4 Fennecs, 3 Lurking Virkolakas, 2 Thassa's Tide Shaper, 3 Divine Mishap, 2 Lost to Memory, 4 Fennex's Judgment, 4 Traumatic Recollection, 1 Forget Their Names, 4 Chronicle, 4 Laystone, 4 Shrine. Yep, I think this is almost the same as their deck list that they had in the Decklist channel, and I am completely for it. I don't know if you all know this, but the very first deck I played when I entered the format was Mill. It was bad, so hopefully this does way better. But yeah, I really like seeing... I just like seeing Fennecs. Such a cool character, and such a cool card too. Yeah, I like seeing the mill here, and honestly, with all the flashback discard decks, this deck might be even better into those than it is into Sultai Graveyard if you can manage to mill them out without dying. Anything crazy in the mana base? No. Sideboard, we have Aphonai's Reveler, 1 Divine Mishap, 3 Out with the Old, 2 Reburr's Appetite, 3 Forget Their Names, 4 Search and Seizure. Yep, a very reasonable group. It has Traumatic Recollection now. Was that not there before? Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to hate that as a green player. Yep, that is a very reasonable pick. Oh, we haven't gotten there yet, but I cut all the Soul Guide Lanterns out of my sideboard, I think, and I am regretting it so bad because this deck is terrifying. I really hope I can go fast enough to kill it if I go against Silver here. Yeah, okay. Cool list, though. Very cool. Like seeing the Reburr's Appetite. All right. H Squids, catch me on 0 lands. You're running 24 lands, Squid. Come on, buddy. Count a little better. No, I'm kidding. Moving on. Calamity Cat. Melon, Mimicry Elemental, Amber, Dormant Camel, Yeji, Looming Psyhawk, Seal Shoals, Gun Picking, Light Vein Purifier. Oh, we are going into a Seal Shoals list. Okay. Oh, okay. This is super cool. Interesting. Okay. You guys are going to have to let me know if this actually made deck list, because I don't remember seeing this one, but this is a very cool list. I know Peacock was talking about using Light Vein Purifier with Seal Shoals, so this seems to be the list for it. Yeji getting back your lands and your Purifier is super spicy. Oh, man. Okay, that's pretty cool. Land. We are playing the Sound Veins. Okay, very cool. Cityscape, Primal Fissure, Mountain Plains, Island, 2 Titan Stairs, Nimbus of... Ooh, Nimbus of Thought. We do not see this one very often. That's cool. And 1 Gleaming Hot Springs. Yeah. That is a very solid list, in my opinion. God damn. You guys have run so cool stuff here. I mean, I liked the last GP a lot, but I think the lists in this GP are just so much more creative. Because, you know, last GP it was a lot of control lists. And not that I don't find the control lists creative, but they're all kind of similar to each other. But this time we have a lot more diversity, I think. This was your 1 loss in League. Though I think it's not a bad matchup for Builder. No, not at all. You got a ton of stuff you can kill here. Melon can't actually protect any of your stuff from Builder, so that's cool. Life Vein Purifier is so brutal in small games. It really is. I played a mono green game against 2 Light Vein Purifiers, and holy shit, it was such a freaking struggle to beat them. Like, the player who I was going against was down on like 3 lands, and just was still somehow pumping out 2 4/4s every turn that I had to play around. Crazy card, but I'm happy it's seeing play. This might be one of my favorite Hyperpop cards, honestly. All right, moving on, we have Cool Bean. Oh, you can also target your opponent's end step. Then yeah, you can do the end step thing. Yep, and you can target your opponent's land twice to draw 2 cards. Yeah, it's insane. It 2 Light Vein Purifiers just gets astronomically better than 1. All right, we have Cool Beans Curator Cube Shill. If you lose to me, you legally have to draft Curator Cube. Also, I stole this deck list, and I know who you stole it from. This is Liz Mono Red Heroic List, which was the terror of League. We got... Yep, this is the exact list, I believe. Lee, you'll have to correct me if it's not, but I'm pretty sure it's the exact same. This deck was absolutely terrifying to play against, and I am hoping I do not run into it. Especially this card. This demon. Yeah, if for those who don't know, this is a deck that can get turn 3 kills on occasion. It has a ton of killing power. It can deal like 26 or 28 damage. You'll have to let me know what it is, but like it can do insane stuff. Even through interaction, it can get some stuff done. So be on the lookout for this because this will kill people. Platonic ideal of a mono red mana base. Yeah. Oh, 24. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, this is beautiful. This is what our monocolor players just strive for. Moving on to the sideboard, we have 2 Ardor, 3 Jericho, 2 High Voltage, 1 Igneous Visions, 3 Terminal Impact, and 4 Conscript. Yeah, seems like you are well-teched here to play against different matchups. You got the Ardor and the Jericho to grind, and you got the Conscript for the mid-range / aggro / stompy deck. So yeah, and Terminal Impact too. Yeah, this is looking good, honestly. I am terrified of this list. I don't know how hard I can impart that, but this list is so spooky. Anyway, we have... Wow, what a shock. Ricky's on consonants? Yeah, so Ricky on consonants. You guys have to let me know if this is different from what they were running last time. But we have... Nothing that stands out to me as different. But yeah, this is... Ooh, Sky Pillar. That's cool. I think that might be new. Yeah, so we are once again seeing grand consonants. This... Oh, they're down on Shank Fa. That is true. Only up down to 1, which honestly, pretty reasonable pick to just still keep 1. It is a big planeswalker that can still affect the board, right? But I mean, if it was gonna see play in any list, I think consonants would be like the first part where I would jam at least 1 copy. So yeah, I think this is a good call. Hopefully this is not Ricky's last GP because we do have one more GP after this, but we're not sure what the format for that one is. Yeah. This could honestly be well positioned. I don't know how I feel about this deck into Sultai Graveyard, but have we really seen that much Sultai Graveyard? I mean, what has it been, like 1 or 2 decks with it so far? I want to say Chipmunk and someone else. Like, yeah, it hasn't been a huge presence, so... Yeah, I think this could honestly be the big mid-range deck if Sultai Graveyard does not perform. There's no main board changes from last GP. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, you were only on 1 Shang Fa last GP. Okay, interesting. I mean, reasonable, yeah. All right, let's look at the sideboard. 2 Club Promoter, 3 Hungry Bob, 1 Scotha, 3 Maim, 2 Bring the House Down, 2 Hostage Situation, and 2 Skullguide Lantern. Yeah, that's completely fair. I think this is pretty decent. Didn't get the motivation to... that's reasonable, honestly. Yeah, that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and move on to... Oh, Stasis is going to be happy. Platy People's Bant Builder. Someone did bring the list. We have 4 Star-Studded Sagittar, 2 Mana Harvester, 4 Kineos, 4 Builder, 3 Survivors, 1 Chosen, 2 Scorn... Ooh, we're on the Stormscraper now. Oh, okay, this is not your list. Interesting. So this is a side grade tier list. Interesting. We are on Stormscraper. Okay. I mean, yeah, completely reasonable. Great card. 1 Shang Fa, 4 Plant Obsolescence, 1 Stasis Chamber, 4 Manifest Light Veins, 1 Disestablishment... Oh my god, I can't. 1 Disestablishment, and then the rest of it. As a one of, 4 Gone Pickin', and 1 Fall of Tracks. Platy's not on Severin, which I think is incorrect, but hey. Yeah, fair enough. Mana base. Yeah. Pretty reasonable stock mana base. That's probably pretty similar to your Stasis. Yeah, I think this is... Even if this is a bit different than your list, I still think this has a lot of potential. Gosh, Builder is just such a good card. Oh, man. So, if I had to rank cards I was scared of, Builder would probably be number 1 in this tournament. It is just such a wall for aggro. Every time someone tries to just pronounce it, I'm not even going to try. Stasis gains power. Yep. I was wondering when we played, but what's the reason for the warp wheeling? So there's actually a good reason. You can go ahead and tutor it out with Builder of Monuments, because Builder of Monuments can go and grab it. It's a very neat little synergy. Yeah, so you can just go ramp it out. It hit artifacts and enchantments, though this deck in particular, I do believe that's the only artifact you can actually tutor out, which is interesting. You'll have to let me know if you and or Platy considered any artifacts for the list. Alright, let's look at the sideboard. We have 2 Warden of Skies, 2 Chromatic Rift, 1 Zakros Decree, 3 Harmony with Nature, 1 Disestablishmentarianism, 2 Fall Tracks, and 4 Soul Guide Lantern. I am so sad that people are bringing Chromatic Rift. This card destroys mono green and completely keeps your very best threats on board. Oh, man. I do not want to run up into this deck. Oh, this would just eviscerate me. I do like seeing the Warden of Skies, too. Someone needs to get the black shiny of Warden if we haven't already, because this is one of my favorite Pokemon. So get on it, people. Okay. States I considered Altar of Chrome, but I think it's just worse than Zakros Decree. I'm gonna have to look up what Altar of Chrome is. Altar of Chrome. Oh, that's very cute. Oh, that's very fun. Okay, cool. Yeah. I can see why you would consider that, but I do agree that Zakros Decree is better. All right, we have Cajun on Amber Friends once again. 3 Melon, 4 Calamity Cat, 3 Clace, 4 Amber, 4 Mimicry Elemental, 4 Temperamental Chick, 3 Electies, 4 Jericho, 4 Karina, 4 Magma Flow. Alrighty. I see that we are on Temperamental Chick is a 4 of now. Okay. I don't know if they were on that before. I think I played against the deck once or twice, and I don't remember seeing Chick, but I could be wrong. This list is spicy as all hell. Like, okay, again, this has been one of the coolest GPs. We have so many cool cards here. Holy crap. I really just have nothing to say. This is a sick-ass list. I wonder what the reasoning for sticking Chick in here is, because it doesn't have an activated ability, but it does apply a lot of pressure, similar to Electies, I suppose. I mean, if you're going against mono green, it does let you snipe Anarchist, so I think that's a pretty reasonable pick. Land base is normal. Chicken is chicken. That is true. Chicken is chicken. Can't argue with that. Let's look at the sideboard. We have 4 Looming Psyhawk, 3 Crux, 3 Scatter the Signal, 2 Crumbling Towers, and 3 Soul God Lanterns. Yep. Completely reasonable. Like seeing the Crux in the sideboard. I think this rock thing should be seeing much more play than he is. I think he's probably one of the best planeswalkers in the format right now. Yeah, this is just a solid list. I'm excited to see how this does. Not sure I love Psyhawk in this meta, to be honest. It's kind of become a gimmick for people, but I'm starting to question it. Yeah, you're not wrong. It just doesn't do much anymore. Like, if you think about Skotha lists, it doesn't hit very much from Skotha. If you think about Mono Green, it doesn't hit very much from Mono Green. If you think about Phoenix, it doesn't hit very much from Phoenix. Like, at that point, you're just running it as a flash flying lifelink. Like, there are decks you can go against where it just obliterates them, but we haven't seen very much presence of those. I don't think including like 2 or 3 Psyhawks is unreasonable, but the full 4 of is something I would hesitate to do. Wait, does Builder run any tokens? I guess Survivor of the New World, but I don't know. I'm not bringing in just for Survivor. Psyhawk had its moment, which was an exception and not the rule. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So disappointed that no one else is running the 1 of Shiny in their 4s and 3s for the flavor. Oh, you know what? I completely forgot. I was going to put a Shiny Trico and I did not do it. Oh, you should shame me. You should absolutely shame me. I deserve it. Alright, moving on. We have Thomas MTG's 4-color enchantment combo, Gaze Honeymoon. Automatically my favorite deck from simply that name alone. Hit Survivor, Sagittarius, Sever, and Gone Picking tokens. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, it's not... I don't know if I would pull it in just for that, but that's not bad. Alright, so, anyway, moving on to Gaze Honeymoon. We have 2 Ignited Soul, 4 Sunsoaker, 1 Tiro the Silent Blade. Okay, come on. You only included that so that you could do the boyfriend's fun. Okay. I mean, it's not a bad card, don't get me wrong, but... 4 Pyros Rider, very cool. 4 Kineos, 4 Weather Elemental, 2 Chosen of Heliod, 3 Storm Scraper of Ketaphos, 3 Canopy of the Winter at Nexus, 4 Manifest the Light Veins, 4 Gone Picking, and 2 Rain Dance. Okay, this is absolutely a deck that started as a Canopy of the Winter Nexus deck because we have some excellent blessings here. We got Heliod's Glory, Consuming Flames with Canopies, very spicy. So our targets for Canopy are Manifest, Chosen, and Pyros. So we have 9 targets main board. Yeah, so I think we're taking infinite combats. I think you're right. Though I'm not sure how we're paying for those infinite combats, because you do still need to pay 3 mana. And sacrifice the creature. Oh, you guys are going to have to explain the combo to me. I'm not seeing the infinite. Oh, Rain Dance. It's got to be a Rain Dance thing, right? Canopy and Stormscraper. Oh, Stormscraper. That makes more sense. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That makes a ton of sense. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm on board. I think this deck, the mana base, Nessian Woods, 4 Nascent Light Vein, 2 Island, 3 Forest, 2 Mountain, Silliman District, redevelop so you get Planespower Fisher. Yep. Very reasonable mana base. Yeah, I could 100% see this being a player. 2 Ignited Soul to mill some stuff into the yard. Yeah, okay. I am on board. So we do have 4 Weather Elemental here, so let's see what we're grabbing for weathers. We have 2 Karametra's Judgment, which create a token that's a copy of an aura you control. That's very cute. 2 Cloud 9. Interesting inclusion. I'm not against it. We got some powerful enchantments in the meta that we may want to hint, so that's cool. 1 Falling Ashes, 1 Sea Breeze, reasonable. 2 Shatter the Reflections. Ooh, it's an aura too. Okay, that's cute. 2 Collector's Item, 1 Hail. Hail, okay, interesting. I've not seen Hail played yet, so that is good. 2 more Rain Dance and 2 Soul Guide Lanterns. Okay, yeah, pretty reasonable sideboard. I am very interested to see how this goes because I have no idea how this is positioned. That is a fascinating list. Weird. Again, we are seeing so much variety this streamer. All right, we have Liz. One last encore. Of course. Yep. JJ Mack. Not a surprise. Yeah, I should have seen it coming. Yep. Very reasonable. All right, so we have 4 Savvy Smith, 4 Pensive Caldera, 4 JJ Mack, 3 Scotha. Cute. 2 Light Vein Arrow, 3 Seafloor Treasures, 2 All That Remains, 3 High Voltage, 2 Searing Grace, 2 Abominable Avalanche, 4 Wade Through Spores, 1 Sifting Through Soot, and 4 Lightspeed Launcher. Absolutely based. I'm so excited to see this list in action. 4 colors as well, not adding white. God, I hope this goes all the way. This is so fun. JJ Mack, beautiful. All right. Okay, yeah. I really just have nothing to say on this one. This is very solid. I mean, this is about what you would expect from a JJ Mack list. I like the inclusion of Scotha here. All right. Moving on to the sideboard, we have 1 more Scotha, 3 Refract, 2 Liquidate, 2 Thunderous Avalanche, 3 Forget Their Names, 2 Abominable Avalanche, and 2 Sifting Through Soot. Strong Avalanche presence in the deck here. This is pretty reasonable. You got 2 Sift Through Soot and 2 Avalanche for the aggro. Oh, and Liquidate for the aggro. You got Refract and Scotha against Control. You got Forget Their Names against Graveyard deck specifically, and Thunderous Avalanche against any artifact or enchantment thing that might pop up. I think this is a very reasonably built sideboard. We have Kilgaris. I'm using Me deck. This is, let's see. Before I look, actually, I'm going to say this. I gave Kilgaris 2 options for a list. One used Nylea's Call, and the other didn't. So let's see which one they built. They built Nylea's Call. Okay, cool. Based. I did say this one might be interesting in a more removal-heavy meta. So I'm happy to see that they've decided to go all in on it. This card just gives so much burst potential in mono green. I could gush about it for so long, but I will not. We did have the 3 Soul Guide Lanterns. But otherwise this seems like a pretty stock mono green list, yeah. I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't give away my secrets. But yeah, I think this is a deck to look out for. We have Farewell. It won you a near unwinnable game against me. That is true. That is very true. You just swung for 20. Yep. It is quite the silly card. All right, so we have Itai. I still don't know how to say their name. We have Itai's Farewell Yeji. Yeah, I wonder if that means something. 4 Calamity Cat, 3 Melon, 4 Contest Coordinator, 3 Dormant Camel, 3 Amber, 3 Ironback Tyke, 4 Yeji, 3 Jericho, 1 Karina, 3 Light Vein Arrow, 4 Magma Flow, 3 Flags on High. Yeah, that is pretty good Yeji list. We are on Boros Yeji, so no Black Splash. We are running all the bolts. We are running all the typical activated ability guys. Amber, Ironback type, people repping so much Yeji. Hey, you know what? Yeji is the most iconic card from Pop, probably. Yeah, I would say. So I'm happy to see that people are bringing it back for one last hurrah, just in case the next GP, for some reason, doesn't let you play Yeji or whatever. So, and yet Builder's matched up against the Weather deck. Damn. Yeah, last chance to play Yeji, folks. Unless the incoming set reprints are somehow, Omen Paths are a magical thing, I suppose. Land base is pretty reasonable. 2 Titan Stairs, yep. Let's look at the sideboard. We have 2 Looming Psyhawk. I think that's a very reasonable amount. 1 more Karina, 2 Pest Problem, 2 Planned Obsolescence. Like seeing this outside of Builder lists. I think it's really nice. 2 Crumbling Tower, 3 Gone Pickin', and 3 Soul Guide Lanterns. I think this is a great list. I am excited to see how Itai does. We have Mii's Stompy... What the hell is that next name? Okay, sorry, no. Mii's Stompy Never Die. I'm not going to talk too much on this, but I just want to say I did end up not bringing the Nylea's Call. I decided I was really afraid of removal, which, looking back on it, I do wish I did pick Nylea's Call because we have not seen very many removal heavy decks. But, yeah, what I did was I added... What did I add? Yellow did write an essay, yes. I added 1 more Grassroots Campaigner and 1 more Nessian Scout Captain and 1 more Journey Begins in comparison to the other list. For the sideboard, I am running 3 Vasilia Helping Hand because I do believe she's pretty good against a lot of the mid-range decks. The Hexproof mode and the 7/7 Trample mode are both good in their lanes. Yeah, I'm not going to say too much beyond that. We have... Let me drink some water before I start this one. Okay. Violas. This is basically Peacock's list from last month, but I put in Suit and took out Pupil and Spiky because I was afraid of Coup d'etat, but I guess no one's on it, so I put Pupil back. Thank you, Peacock. And also, I'm a Singularity enjoyer. Okay. We have 4 Morbid Bloomer, 4 Alrontan Visionary, 3 Inner Rings Pupil, 4 Sportback Jarga, 2 Skotha, 2 Jack Monster Manor, 2 Czar, 3 Fanax's Touch, 4 Sifting Through Soot, 4 Ominous Slaughter, and 4 Root Fossil. 4 Sifting Through Soot in the main. All right. Someone wants to gain some life. Green Black Rock was one of my favorite lists from the last GP. I was super sad it didn't make top cut because I thought it had a lot of potential. And I see here we are working on getting it back to top cut because this is spicy. We have, this is pretty similar to the old list. It is basically how it was said in the title. We took out Pupil and Spiky, but then we put in Pupil. Singularity is one of the strongest cyborg cards and needs more respect. Interesting. Okay, that's an interesting take. As a mono green player, I am a bit scared of it, to be fair. Exile target creature in if my mana value is less than or equal to the number of spells Singularity cast this game. Yeah, it's terrifying. The Lacquer Chronicle is very interesting. Yeah, I do think that's interesting. I would have... well, we do have them in the sideboard, at least. Which is something. Singularity is great because it can actually kill Seeker of New Horizons or Anarchist on turn 1, which I don't think there's very much else in the meta besides like Firebolt that can do that. Yeah, Chronicle Extinction in the sideboard. We have 2 Hungry Blob for Singularity, 2 Disestablishmentarianism. Oh my god, I said it right! Yes, Stasis, suck it. And then we have 3 Soul Guide Lanterns. Yeah. Pull of Tezzerus, who was talking about? Oh, Fenix Touch is my 1 mana black card that kills Seeker on turn 1. Poletizers, yeah. I think Poletizers is an excellent choice for killing Seeker on turn 1 because you can't let it grow out of control, and Poletizers is one of the only cards that can also kill it later if you have enough board presence. So, yeah, I am on board with that. Yeah, I think this is a pretty reasonable change to Peacock's list. I don't know if it's for better or for worse because, honestly, I'm not too good at this type of list, so I will have to see it in action. We have Styles Instant equals yes. This was very predictable. They were asking for an instant-based control list, and I think we have something approaching control here. Face Melt? Oh. Interesting. Okay, Face Melt, yeah. So we'll get to that. We'll have 3 Blind Keela and 2 the Aqua Crew. So yeah, that is the first time I've seen Keela in a long while, and I am happy to see it because Keela is very cool. We have 3 Seafloor Treasures, 4 Refract, 1 Face Melt. All that remains: 4 Avert Disaster, 1 Upstage, 1 Invasion's End, 2 Chronicle Extinction, 2 Laced on a Ruin, 4 Omen of Slaughter, 4 Omen of Deception, 2 Root Fossil. Yeah, not running Empty Shell is interesting. I was expecting like some sort of multicolored payoff, but it's probably just, you know, Styles didn't have much time to deck build, so they might have just missed out on Empty Shell. Yeah, no, 1 is a love letter to pop. Absolutely, that could be the reason here, you know, because I don't think we're running. Well, we're running 4 Refract, so that helps. But yeah, and 1 Invasion's End main board. Interesting pick. I like it. 2 Laced on a Ruin to mill the opponent. Well, I guess you could always just mill your stuff with it too, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, and love seeing Avert Disaster. Yep, always love seeing it. Very cool card. Anything crazy in the mana base? Nope, not particularly. For the sideboard, we have 3 Hungry Bob, 2 Thovius Addy. Like to see Thovius here. We do not see him very often. 2 Drown in Sorrow, 2 Invasion's End, 1 Chronicle Extinction, 3 Soul Guy Lantern, and 2 Aqua Crew Flagship. Yep, very reasonable sideboard. Can definitely see when some of these are going to get their day to be sideboarded in. We are moving on to our final list of the night. Wow, that is blazed past. Holy shit. All right. We have Red Panda's Bear on Blistering Sound Vein. We have 2 Unspeaking Titan, 4 Dormant Monstrosity, 4 Blistering Cryo Phoenix, 4 Stink of the Sound Veins, 3 Nosa, 4 Stolen Secrets, 4 Light Vein Arrow, 4 Firebolt, 3 Chronicle of Precedence, 2 Elder Eras. What the hell is this list? 4 Research Grant. All right. We did save the best for last. What am I looking at? This is insanity. And I love it. Panders, you cooked. You cooked. I mean, yeah, this is infinite turns, yeah. But wow. Where are the? I have no idea what that card is. We're gonna have to look that up. Runehenge Pilgrim. 1 red. Oh, flashback costs you pay cost 2 less. Yeah, I could see that. Do we have any way to like flicker stuff? Well, I guess we can create tokens that are copies of stuff. So yeah, that would have been a reasonable pick for sure. I love Brew Chronicles anti-control tech. Natively submitted it myself. Yeah, that is super reasonable. I love seeing the Titans without the other Titans here. This you're just playing this for the ETB, and it's good at doing that. Dormant Monstrosity is sick to see. Blistering Cryo Phoenix, another cool card. Sphinx of the Sound Veins, obviously sick as fuck. Nosa Research Executive, I hate you so much. Kind of. We're not actually playing with flickers here, so that's actually a pretty reasonable grab. Stolen Secrets, yep, cool. Another good card into Skotha. We have 4 Light Vein Arrow, 4 Firebolt, 3 Chronicle. Yeah, again, we do have the Mill 21 mode. 2 Elder Eras and Research Grant. Yeah, this is a sick list. So that wraps up our decklist review. Oh, sorry, wait. I need to check out the sideboard. 2 more Unspeaking Titan, 3 End of Mutations, 3 Crux, 4 Electese Charge, 3 Bring Down the Sky. We are running the new Bring Down the Sky. Very nice. This deck is the most fun 0-3 experience we'll ever have. No! Oh man, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna go 5-0, please. Oh man, it's such a cool list. All right. Yeah, so that wraps up our decklist review. Let's go ahead and go into matchups. Okay, so first off, we are starting with Coveted Peacock versus Kilgar. So Coveted Peacock is on the light speed deck, and Kilgaris is on mono green. So mono green, these decks are both going to try to go as fast as possible. I am personally leaning towards mono green here. I think yeah, feel like green's here. Yeah, 100%. I think it's not heavily favored. I think if you utilize your removal, Light Vein Arrow and Firebolt well in the early turns, you can maybe outspeed them. But I don't know, if something like a Scout Captain, nope, not you. The Scout Captain comes down, you really just do not have a great answer or King of the Wilderness either. Yeah, yep. Peacock spends speed to invest into resilience removal. Mono green just doesn't play any. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. I think Coveted Peacock is slightly unfavored here. But I do think if you can manage to stick a... I keep clicking the wrong deck. A Hobby's Familiar and grow it fast enough. Peacock loves opening GBs versus Mono green. Yes, yes, yes. Apparently so. If Peacock can stick a Hobby's Familiar... or Savvy Smith, because Savvy Smith can do a decent job of stalling, and get in with the flyer, I think there is a chance here, right? But it's going to be tight. Is anything in the sideboard here helpful? Terminal Impact and Flame Whip are pretty decent sideboard pieces against them, I'll be honest. But is it enough is the question, because I don't think you're getting up to 7 lands in this list very often, so I don't think Terminal Impact is going to be a board wipe all too often, so I think you are mostly relying on Flame Whip, and then Terminal Impact is like a secondary option. So I don't think it's unwinnable, for sure. Absolutely not unwinnable, but it's not great. I think Kilgaris probably brings in Rough Rider? I don't know. I'll leave that up to Kilgaris, because I don't want to influence what people are picking too much, but I do think there are some... The sideboard here is not super tuned for Phoenix, admittedly. Cool Beans running the mono-red heroic deck, and we have Volt Switch on Serve Again. That's interesting. Honestly, I could see Serve Again being good here. You have Light Vein Arrow to deal with creatures. You have a bunch of shitters that you don't mind blocking with. In fact, Tormenting Lighter has First Strike, which is huge against the mono-red deck. And you have just so many guys that you do not mind blocking with. So, yeah, I think this is a tough one to judge. You guys are going to have to tell me what you think, because I think this could be pretty even. Terminal Impact, too, also can snipe 1-drops, by the way. Don't forget. Which is very good against Mono Red, because if you let them... Or against Heroic, because if you let them develop a 1-drop, that can be pretty bad. And then you do have... nothing too great out of the sideboard, unfortunately. And meanwhile... Nope, wrong one. Cool Beans can bring in some Ardor and stuff to help grind. Oh no, a 1-drop. Do not. You know what your 1-drops do in that deck, okay? That deck is terrifying. I fear Ephemia so much. Okay. Let's move on to this one. So we have Sultai Graveyard versus Green-Black Rock. Interesting. I do think Sultai Graveyard is probably slightly favored here. It does have the bigger top end, and it is resistant to a lot of the discard effects that this deck is running, but it does have the 4 Chronicle Extinction in the side and 3 Soul Guide Lanterns, so it's not unwinnable. 100%, again. I don't think there is unwinnable matchups in this GP. None of these decks are so polarized. Additionally, in general, for Veil's particular list, I could see it. Sorry, what in reference to what in particular? Because I just said like 20 things in the meantime. I think is favored against Sultai. Oh, okay, interesting. I suppose we do have some decent creatures that can accrue value on their own, but maybe not here. Fair enough. The Ultra Greedy Golgari lists beats Sultai. Is this Ultra Greedy? I guess this is somewhat greedy. I don't know. I'll have to see it in play. I'll have to see it, but yeah, this is a pretty close matchup either way, I think. If there is a favored, it's like 55-45 or whatever. Moving on, we have Chillbrain's Yeji versus Liz JJ Mac. Okay. Yeah, no main deck Chronicle means game 1 is super good for me. Yeah, I do lean towards that. I think you're right. I have no idea how to feel about this. This is... I'll be honest, I have never played against JJ Mac more than a couple times, I guess. I think I did play against him once. So I am not sure how fast this deck wins, but just looking through the removal options, it's got some pretty good removal, a lot of stall potential. And Chill can be pretty aggressive. JJ Mac is good when I draw JJ Mac. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. We have two iconic pop cards going up each other. Amp It Up versus Prismana, so we'll have to see which pop card wins that one, but I am generally leaning towards the Yeji deck being favored here. Also, the Magma Council is just brutal. You do not want to have any of your stuff become mountains. And that is... Do we have removal from Le that can deal with the Magma Council? Not with a single card. So that is not ideal if Magma Council comes down. Well, we'll have to see how that one develops. We have Red Panders on the super sick extra turn Sound Vein deck. I tried to build it so that I can just slam a control game with the launchers if Mac won't work. I can see that working. So we'll... I think the issue is that this deck is probably pretty decent into control. So we'll have to see how it goes. But, yeah. Anyway, moving on, sorry. Red Panda's on extra turns, and Styles on hard... I guess I should call it control. On the Aqua Crew. Let's call it an Aqua Crew Sultai deck. I don't think Panders is favored in this one. I'm sorry, Panders. But I do think the 4 of Refract and just the Chronicles and the Omens, it's all just going to come together. The Aqua Crew is just brutal for you, too. Yeah, I mean... You don't have very many good steel targets with Nosa either. I mean, Stolen Secrets is at least good. Infinite turn combo into all counter spells. Yeah, that's pretty much how you would sum it up. And I don't think infinite turn combo wins that one in any shape or form, unfortunately. But, again, not unwinnable. If you can run them out, or... I mean, I don't think Styles is actually on any hard counters, right? Oh, no, they're on Avert Disaster. Well... We'll have to see how that goes. We have PTM on the bye, which is kind of sad because I wanted to see how Jund Ramp performed, but that's okay. We'll know for next time. We have Philippe on a Scotha list, the stock Sultai, versus Ricky on Consonants. Ooh, the 2 big mana decks facing off. I will have to see how this goes, because I think, honestly, either one of these could come on top. Because I think... People talk about how Sultai is like the biggest go big deck, but I think Consonants can also go very, very big if it wants to. So we'll have to see. You guys chime in. Who do you think goes bigger between Sultai Graveyard and Consonants? Because I'm looking at this. We do have Hostage Situation too, which is probably pretty decent into Sultai. Soul Guide Lanterns, another Scotha. I think that's very a lot of potential. Graveyard goes big. Okay, so we're leaning towards Graveyard. Okay. Valid. And Vorpal type, and if it does come in. No, actually, Consonants is not very weak to Vorpal Titan. We are running a decent amount of basics. Flashback Green Chronicle is the trump card. That is true, and there is not much here that can deal with it. We are thankfully running quite a few big creatures, so at least not all of our threats get blown up by it, but the 3-land blow-up mode is just so brutal for Consonants if it comes out before Consonants itself. Yeah, we'll have to see. It'll probably just come down to draws at some point. Alright, moving on. We have Kumrak on Esper Control versus Dazvi on Red-Green PTM's ramp list. Interesting. I am leaning towards Esper Control, probably getting the bump here. But, I mean, we do have End of Mutations main board and sideboard, which is obviously pretty decent against Esper Control. We do have Terminal Impact as a 1-of as well. Crumbling Tower is great. I think this sideboard seems pretty well tuned into Control, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Red-Green can pull out the win against Control. You guys will have to, again, tell me what you guys think here, but, like, I think this is a pretty well-tuned list if you don't get, like, just brutalized by, you know, the Omens and Gone Pickin'. Oh, I missed that we were running the Kanea Stone here. That is pretty cool. Not much to tutor out, but, you know, that's fine. We're not really running it as a win-the-game card here. Moving on, we have H Squid on Amber Friend, or no Planeswalker, so just Yeji Amber versus Engineer on our first Phoenix list. Interesting. Phoenix versus Yeji. This is not a Lightspeed Launcher version either. Yeah, I think this deck probably comes down to Yeji and Light Vein Purifier versus the Phoenixes. And I'm leaning towards Yeji Purifier being the better one in that scenario, but I think it's pretty close. We do have Chronicle and Terminal Impact out of the board. How good is Noxious Conditions into this list? We hit Calamity Cat, Melon, Amber, though usually not, Dormant Camel, and Looming Psyhawk. Okay, so we have a lot of hits, so that is probably a pretty strong sideboard card coming in. Oh my god, I didn't even notice. We're running Bring the House Down in an aggro list? Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I could see it being good against mono green and stuff, yeah. I think Stasis actually told me about this one. How he ran into someone running. Yes, that was who you were DMing. Yeah, okay, yeah. You were DMing me about that earlier. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Moving on, we have... Oh, no, not that one. Thomas MTG on 4-color Gay Honeymoon. I'm not even going to put the words enchantment combo. Gay Honeymoon's so much funnier of a deck name. Versus Cajun on Amber Friends. Honestly, I don't have enough experience with either deck to posit on them. I think Kineos is a very strong card who deserves respect, and I think this list is definitely something that he can take advantage of, but I'm not sure how this actually list plays. And I used to think Karina was not good. I do not underestimate her anymore. She can be very good. So I think both these decks are well positioned, but I just don't know who is more well positioned against the other. All right, moving on. We have Truk on Grixis Phoenix versus me. Okay. I don't want to comment on this matchup because I don't want to say too much about what should we be sideboarding in. Don't want to accidentally help my opponent. Sorry, Truk. Oh, sorry. I think this comes down to whether Thomas draws Kineos. Yep, I think that's 100% right. Yeah. Aqua Crew Flagship. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but I do think Phoenix is probably slightly unfavored here on game 1. And I don't want to talk about game 2 or 3 because that would be talking about what I would sideboard in. So I'm just not going to do that. But I do think game 1 I am slightly favored here. Cat in Tree on AO Harmony versus Crushed Castles on Is It Phoenix Lightspeed Launcher. Okay. I will be honest, I have no idea how this deck plays, but I do think it's actually uniquely positioned to be pretty good into Phoenix. You can be aggressive. You have removal for their non-Phoenix creatures. And if AO comes down, I just don't think there's much that Phoenix can do outside of just removing him. Like, if he gets even a single swing in, you are absolutely screwed. You do have Light Vein Arrow and High Voltage to deal with him, so there is that, but oof, man. That's going to be a rough matchup for someone. All right, we are coming in on the home stretch here. We have 2 more matchups here. We've got Silver on Reveler, or sorry, on Mill versus Itai on Yeji. Okay. That's interesting. My gut feeling is that the Yeji deck is probably favored because it can come out of the door pretty quick, and I don't think it digs through its deck fast enough for Silver to take advantage. You guys will have to jump in, though, because I have not played against Silver's Mill list. Lost this one in League. Ooh, okay, so that is some information there. Yeah, then I have no idea how this is going to go. I don't want to say I was certain, but I was probably leaning towards Itai, but if you lost it in League, then I have no idea. I mean, obviously it's a small sample size, but still. Finally, we have Magma Dragon on Pilgrim versus... But change cyber and practice die rolling. Practice the die rolling all you want. I have not been able to get better at it. Versus Bant Builder, and to be honest, I think this is going to be perhaps the matchup I am most excited for, because I have no idea how this is going to go. We have Band Builder, which typically I think would run over a mid-range deck like this, but I think Tyranny of Tracks as a 4 of is just like so huge. You think it's 65-35 for Magma? Oh, damn. I did not. I'll be honest, I don't think it's that bad for Magma, because I think you have, or not you, Platy people, if they can stick like a, I don't know, a Chosen of Heliod or an Illustrious Shangfa, which admittedly are one-ofs, or Survivors of the World, I think it can have some game. Swablu is not Sun but it's a single card value engine. Yeah, so that is the main issue here. You gotta kill Swablu. You can't let it get out of hand. And the unfortunate thing about Swablu is that it's very good at getting out of hand. And then you do just have, I mean, kind of like just the perfect answer to Builder in Walk the Dead's Path and Tyranny of Tracks. They're just two cards that just absolutely decimate Builder. So, yeah, I think I agree with Stasis that this is favored for Magma. But, yeah, we'll have to see. Alright, well, I will stick around to 2 more minutes to discuss if you guys want to talk about anything else. How are you feeling about the GP? How are you feeling about the variety of decks we have? I was expecting 4 Sultai Graveyard decks. I was way off. We only got 2. Early predictions for the winner? Well, you're looking at them. No. Let me think about what list I saw that I felt looked really good. Who was the one that I was thinking was really nice? I think Jund Ramp has a lot of potential, for sure. This deck, if it can draw well, easily could win the GP. Mono Green's a decent choice. Any Sultai Graveyard card's a decent choice. Huh. Am I blind? Did I just not... Oh, okay, there you go. I think Chipmunk's list, tuned for control, is my pick for most likely to top 5. That or one of the mono green decks, because I think those are the best position for the meta. You just what I was going to pick you. Oh, thank you. All right, so we got 1 Sultai Graveyard, 1 BG Graveyard Ramp, 1 BG Graveyard Midrange, 1 Sultai Flash. That's kind of on the Sultai Graveyard space. Okay, so I mean that's pretty much a Sultai Graveyard deck, right? That's 4 Sultai Graveyards. My prediction was mostly correct. But yeah, I think this would be... I can't even put your full deck on screen, Chipmunk. It gets cut off. I'll just cut off your title. I'm sorry. It's a beautiful title. I can't even fit it. Okay, whatever. That's close enough. But yeah, I feel like PTN's list is most similar to Philippe's list. What was Philippe's list again? Were they the one down here? Bump, 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 bump. Nope, they were not down here. I probably had to scroll up. You should have never scrolled. Yeah. Am I like the only mid-range gamer? Yeah. You might be the only one. I mean, we have the Bant Builder. We also have the Gay Boyfriends, which is kind of like or Gay Marriage. What was the deck called? Bump, 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 bump. Gay Honeymoon. There you go. Yeah, I think this is also technically a mid-range deck, even if it is a little combo heavy. Yeah, I am very excited for this GP. I think we're gonna see a really wide selection of stuff. We do not have. We'll have to see what is the card that's most represented. Is it Skotha? Non-land card, to be clear. Is it Skotha? It might be Lightspeed Launcher, or it could be Gone Pickin' too. I've seen a lot of Gone Pickin'. A lot of different options. Skotha and 7 lists. Okay. That is probably the Ignited Soul. Could be Ignited Soul, yeah. I could definitely see Ignited Soul being number 1. Yeah, no, that is possible. I've seen a lot of Light Vein Arrow too, so I'm not sure. I think it might actually be Light Vein Arrow now that I think about it. Or maybe not. I'm not seeing much of it anymore. If I just pick a card on screen and I go, oh yeah, that might be the much. No. Yeah, we'll have to 7 arrows as well. Okay, so it's tied. Unless we can find one that is more. Uh, it might be one of the enchantments. Omen of Slaughter seems very popular this GP. Well, I have run out of things to say. So unless you guys have any other comments or things you want to talk about, I think we're good to call that one a wrap. I mean, I can stick around if you guys want me to. I got like 10 more minutes before I gotta go do stuff. So if you have anything you want to talk about. Oh, thanks for streaming. All right. We will end it off here. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully this wasn't too much of a change from Peacock's stream, and it wasn't too much of a departure from the quality you expect. We will go ahead and hopefully, we're discussing this, but hopefully me and Peacock will be doing a co-host stream for the next GP if we can get our schedules to align. Look out for GP Petrasia coming up, and I will see you all in Cockatrice. Bye-bye.